What is up, RC enthusiasts? Check it out. We have some upgrades for the Traxxas TRX4m right here. Some of these upgrades are going on this guy. Some of the upgrades are going to be going on the Bronco. So the 9781 right there, the two bags right down there, are going to be for the Bronco. And one of these low speed gears is going to be for the Bronco in the future. But not for now, because right now I want to compare stock to low range. So I'm going to go ahead and be putting this only on the Defender. And the last thing are these guys right here, the 9750A, and those are the wheel hubs, the 7mm hexes, and those guys are made of metal. And also, I have wheel weights in there, but not the Traxxas ones, that's why I didn't show it. Now, if you've been on my channel for a long time, you know I did a contest back in the day where I said if you can guess what I use as wheel weights for most of my RCs, even my 10 scales, then somebody would win a prize, but no one was able to guess that. I'm not going to give it away because in the future, I'm going to use that as a giveaway again because obviously no one guessed it right. Yes, let's go ahead and install some upgrades. I'm going to install this guy first because it's really simple. I'm going to try to do everything on camera as much as I can so you guys can see what it takes to disassemble and put this guy back together with upgrades. This rig is definitely one from Traxxas that they definitely thought out and everyone can get into. From beginner to expert, everyone can get into this because they're simple to work on and you can get as complicated as you want with this, or you can keep them the way they are right here with just these Traxxas upgrades, and you'll have a pretty sweet rig to mess around with. So included in your box is this tool right here to help you remove your wheels right here. So let's take the wheels off. So that's what it looks like right there. It's your plastic one. You're going to pull that off. It's a little on there, isn't it? A little stubborn here. There you go. Jeez. So if you notice, they do include some spare pins in the bag right here. I just left them in there because they're going to be spare, because obviously I didn't lose my pin yet. And there's pins already installed on this one right here. So now after you remove the plastic one, it just goes in its place. Simple. That's it. Yeah, these ones are a direct replacement. I know Endura, I'm not sure if I'm saying that brand right, they have extended ones so you can pop your wheels out a little bit more to get yourself a wider wheelbase. Let's go ahead and get this body off, which I love, by the way. There's two clips right here. That is awesome. If you have the light kit like I do, you gotta be careful when taking that off. You can't just yank this body off there. Now go ahead and unplug that right here. Boom, just one plug. And this is the Pro Light kit. If you haven't seen the video of me installing that on this guy, I have a video on that as well. So now I'm just gonna pull out the battery right here. So you have 4 screws for the transmission and the 2 screws for this tray, and you should be able to pull this transmission and motor out from in here, but obviously not all the way because the motor's wired in. So just pull it out enough to where you can work on the transmission. It's hard to work behind the camera, huh? I missed both those bolts. They're just sitting in there now. There you go. Then you have the 4 transmission bolts right here. There's all 4 screws for that. Now I can just pull this gearbox straight up. As you can tell, both the drive shafts are just gonna come out. So when you reinstall this, you're gonna have to remember to line up those drive shafts first and then slide them in, and then slowly put the gearbox back down and then reinstall everything. And now we have those 4 screws right there. And also you have to remove this shaft right here with a 1.5 as well right there. So remove that as well, because that's the only way you're gonna be able to split the case. Here we go, let's pull this apart. There we go, and if you're going to replace it to bearings, now's a good time to get your bearings in there as well. I'm going to keep mine all bushing because you know me. This is going to see some water, and the bushings are going to help me out with maintenance. So there's the gears right there. Let's see, do they just slide out? Oh yeah, I got to take these to the other side too. How am I going to slide that out? With the 2 drive shaft halves off, you can slide this gear out, and then you can see that gear slides out from there. So when you reinstall this, make sure to put it in this way. And it splines into there. So yeah, then you put that side into the case that's facing the motor. So that's where the slide part goes in, because you need to have this end right here spacing this gear from this gear. So remember that if you're not recording this, take a picture of it so you know how these gears all go back in there. Just grab one gear out, see how that looks like, and then grab the next gear out, see what that looks like, And then these pins just slide out of here both ways, either way on these ones. They're not splined. Same with this one, it's not splined, only the output shaft is splined. So you can just pull all those off the gears, and then you're going to unscrew those two screws right there with the same 1.5 you've been using the whole time, and then pull the motor off so you can pull that pinion gear from the motor. So now I didn't know that my camera wasn't recording and I missed pulling this pinion off of here. It was pretty simple, and all I did was use this to kind of pry it up gently, and once I got it like halfway up, I just used my fingers. I use my fingers against the can right here to squeeze the can and pull up at the same time at the gear, and it just gently lifts it off without damaging anything. And then when you put your new gear on there, make sure when you spline it on, you know, just get it on there right, put it on, and once you get it in there nicely all the way flush like it was before, then you're good to go. Don't move it around, don't take it back off again and stuff, because the more you move this around, take it off and put it back in, you're going to damage it and it's going to be slipping, and you're going to have to try to glue it on there or something. But yeah, it shouldn't slip, it should be good on there. But if you do notice this thing is slipping, you might have to pull it off, put a dab of super glue in there and glue it on there. So now we're just going to match up gears and go ahead and match up which one belongs where. So this one right here should be able to slide that off, and this is the gear right here that looks like it matches that gear. So that's what I'm going to install the same way that one was installed on here, like so. Now this one right here is the same as this gear. There you go. Just pulled it out of there and replace it onto here. Then now you have this one and its metal shaft. And we'll just pull this one out as well. Put that aside. And then this gear right here is what goes on there. Now let's press this back onto the motor. Let's see if I can do it by hand right here. Should be simple enough. Let's flush all the way, like so. Now let's reconnect this to the motor. Snug it up a little bit, not too much. Don't want to strip the tiny little screws, you know. There you go. Now that that's on there, we're going to put the rest of the gears on. This gear goes in here. And this gear next goes in here with the gear side up. Touch this gear. And then your output gear right here. Like so. Ready to close it up. You need your drive shaft halves. So there you go, simple enough, gearboxes together. Now all you got left to do is to slide this motor back in place. Now it goes in this way, but remember, before you snug it in, you're gonna have to line these drive shafts up. This is a pretty simple install, so I'm not too worried that you guys are not gonna be able to do this on your own. There you go, transmission is fully installed, snugged up. Now I just gotta put the battery tray back on. And that's it. Slide my battery back in there. Plug it up. Let's check out how it is with the low range. That's really slow. The question is, how much torque does it have? Well, the problem wasn't that it didn't have enough modulation. It was pretty good stock, but how is it now with torque? That's the problem it had, was once you get up to an obstacle, you had to really gun it to get over stuff. Oh, yeah. Well, I think this is all you need right here, you know, all that brushless, Fury Tech, expensiveness. Unless you really, really want it and you're into that, then you don't really need it. I mean, look at this. Departure, smooth too. Oh, yeah. Well, there we go with that. This thing has a low range gears installed. It's ready to go for some trail crawling action. Yeah. Alright, it's Bronco time. Let's go ahead and put the beadlock wheels on this guy. These are the wheels right here. They're licensed. They're method. They're the 105s, I believe. I'm not going to bore you guys with removing the wheels, because you guys know it's just those wheel nuts. Take all 4 off, take the tires off, and then I'll show you where to go from there. 3-piece right here. You're going to need the front and the rear right here. It's going to sandwich this tire onto this center piece right here. So let's go ahead and take this off from here, and let's put them onto here. That bag also comes with the screws that you're going to need to squeeze these all together. And it's 6 screws for each wheel that you're going to need to assemble these. So I'm going to put the beadlocks on this truck, because this is the truck I ultimately want to fix up the most. But you know, I have both, so I'm pretty sure they're both going to end up being modded. You know how it is with this hobby. This guy right here, it's literally just on there. It's not glued in or anything, you know, you just pull it off of there. And that's it. Now to start the beadlock, I usually start by putting the center ring inside first. So you're going to have to get the center ring inside the wheel. Now that you have it in there, you just line it up, get it as centered as possible, so the bead sits nice on it. So you can tell right there. And once it's in like that, now you can just grab the front, slide that through. I'm pretty sure is it splined anywhere? No, you just slide that through. Like so. Same with the rear. We're gonna have to pull the bead onto the bead area. There you go. Make sure you line up the front and the rear holes. As you can tell, I didn't line it up because you have to put the screw through here and it has to screw into the front piece. There you go. And now that's lined up. Put the screws in here. 6 screws in each. Now don't over tighten any of these, because you could round off these hex heads and you could also destroy the threads in here. So it's just literally, once you see it all snug up together nicely, that's it, you're done. There you go, and you have some nice methods on your Traxxas Canyon Trail tires. Cool tires, by the way. I like these Canyon Trails. They should perform pretty well. And you know, for the size of these rigs, they don't need foams in here. It'll flex, grab onto rocks nicely. As you can tell, pretty sweet with those methods on there, right? Yeah, real beadlocks now, sweet. So which one do you guys like better? The methods? Or, I think these are KMCs. I'm not sure what they came with stock, the Defender. Let me know in the comments, guys, which one of those wheels you like better. Well, there you go, guys. 2 sweet little rigs right here. Now with some mods on both, and more mods to come on both. So I'm going to go ahead and run these soon to see how it does stock style gearing right here and everything. And right here with wheel weights and some upgrades and low range gears. So we're going to go ahead and see how much better one handles than the other. Now I know stock to stock this one is going to be lighter and better than this one, but now with all the mods this one has, I'm expecting this one right here to handle pretty darn well. Well, alright guys, thanks for watching as usual, and as always, stay safe out there, have fun, and go run that RC.